2-2 situation, and he stayed very calm, really coming out strong to win this next the 5th and 6th game against Dimitri, and I think he's ready. He won quite some big tournaments, he's lost quite some big tournaments, he's mature enough, and to be honest, I really cross my finger in this match for Timo.
I've got my fingers crossed as too. The crowd are giving him a standing ovation. There'll be lots of German supporters here who've travelled to Rotterdam. There's a few of them, and there's the players. We'll let the MC introduce them to the crowd.
From Germany, Timo BOLL. The umpire from the final from Portugal, and from the Philippines,
The umpire and the assistant umpire being introduced to the crowd. Players and officials shake hands, make their way back to their corners. And the crowd, you can sense the atmosphere building in here. You can sense who the crowd are going to be behind, but in fairness to them, generous applause also for Chen. In fact, we sat here, Richard and I, and we're next to the Chinese commentators, and even they gave generous applause to Timo BOLL, which is great to see.
I mean, it's really like Timo is together with Mitsutani, these last two in the quarterfinal, and maybe even some of the Chinese crowd will hope to Timo to get through. I think he has quite some fans in China. He's very, very good connected to China. He's learning the language at this moment and really likes China. Nevertheless, he also likes to beat the Chinese players, and well, I really hope he can use his chances now against Chen.
So the players, as always, will have a 2-minute practice just to loosen up, groove in a few shots before this much-awaited quarter-final will start. And there's Timo BOLL, number 2 in the world. And there's his opponent, Chen, number 12 in the world. Chen has been as high as number 5, 27 years of age. And Timo BOLL, 30 years of age. And there's another legend of the German game, Jörg Roskopf, European champion in 94 in Stuttgart, 92 in Stuttgart, in front of his home crowd. And of course won the men's doubles title in Dortmund, the world men's doubles title, 1989, in front of the home crowd. A wonderful achievement. So the players now starting the knock. Timo BOLL, left-handed topspin player, won the team silver medal in Beijing. Captain, coached by none other than Richard Prowser, sat next to me in the commentary box. 4 times European champion, 2 times winner of the World Cup, 5 times European top 12 champion. And as Richard said, beat Ovcharov in the previous round, 4 games to 2. Chen is the current Olympic doubles gold medalist, quarter-finalist in the last World Championships in singles, last 16 in 2007, quarter-final in 2005. So he's never gone beyond the quarter-final, Richard. Let's hope that stays the case. And I'm not being picking on Chen anywhere there. It would be great to see a European player through to the semi-finals.
Exactly.
World Cup runner-up in 2009, Chen. Of course, he's shown some really good form at the beginning of this year. He won the English Open in Sheffield, and he's won 3 other titles in his career. Probably the best match in the last 16 was the match between Vladimir Samsonov, Chen. Chen won that 11-9 in the 7th game. Maybe that could have taken a little bit out of him, but as you mentioned before, these are athletes, and he's probably had sufficient time to recover. But mentally, that will have taken a lot out of him.
I think so as well, because we see in this match some of the strong and at the same time some of the weak points of Chenchi. Chenchi was up 2-1, 10-6 against Vladi, and then he really helped Samsonov to come back in the game. And this was like a little bit up and down there. And at the end, in the 7th game, he did like a very, very clever way of changing the service, of changing the topspin to win 11-9 in the 7th. So Chenchi showed up a very, very strong mentally way. But like we know, Chenchi is quite up and down. We will see how he will perform in this match.
So the 2-minute practice is complete. The players are ready to start. It's Chenchi to serve at the start of this first game. As always, best of 7 games. First point to Timo BOLL. Superb backhand topspin down the line. Chenchi was looking to run round his backhand. We'll see that again. First he plays the backhand, then watch him. There he goes. But Timo's equal to it. Straight down the line. Excellent start. 2 points against the serve. BOLL now with his 2 serves.
These 2 left-handers makes it a bit more easy maybe to see each other's service. And usually from this backhand diagonal, like Timo has more possibilities, more variation. Doing very good start now with Timo. Very good placement of the ball, not only hitting the backhand of Chenchi twice, the 2nd time already in the forehand of Chenchi. Very good start so far.
Return from BOLL just a little high there. Chenchi in with the forehand topspin. That's where he's going to be dangerous, when he gets in with that shot.
Exactly. Like service first ball, this 3 balls strategy. This is he playing on a very high level.
Again, Chenchi at his best when he's playing forehand topspins fairly close to the table. BOLL now with his 2 serves to come. Leads 4-2.
Rodelia BOLL, wife of Timo.
Just caught the top of the net, flicked it off the end of the table.
Also there, Chenchi changed a little bit, attacking the middle of Timo. Timo opening side a bit late there.
Wonderful topspin from BOLL. It's a great topspin from Chenchi, but the counter topspin from BOLL. He held his ground, he stayed close to the table, and he took that one almost as it bounced on the table.
Very good there. Stayed close, keep the body strong, not losing balance. Very good.
Again, good backhand topspin. Just threw it up a little bit, varied the pace, varied the spin. BOLL now leads 6-3. And it's Chenchi with his 2nd serve. Excellent touch, good feeling in the hand. Kept that ball tight. The 2nd bounce would have been on or around the baseline, the sideline. Chenchi wasn't sure whether to play over the table, let it come long. He hesitated, and this is a super start by the European player, the German player, Timo BOLL.
And taking 4 points by the service of Chenchi. This is really good.
BOLL had to throw that one up in the air to drop below the height of the net, and he did it quite superbly. Great play. Out wide. A little bit of side spin as well, just to make it go even further out.
And you see closer at the table as Chenchi, really giving Chenchi no chance at all. Chenchi has to use more his forehand in order to winning the points, and Timo has more variation inside of his game. So he's really controlling the game right now.
Missed by quite some margin there. Chen Chi clearly under a little bit of pressure. He's not settled, he's not got his rhythm. And it'd be great if Timo can finish this off. He's 10-3 in the lead. The outcome of this first game virtually inevitable, but it'd be good to finish it 10-3 before Chen Chi gets a few good points under his belt.
So Timo took 5 points after service of Chen Chi. That's a lot. And in comparison, you know, like Chen Chi's strength is usually service and first ball after. If you take 5 points, that means really you are on a very good track against him.
Just overhit the forehand topspin. 2 game points saved, but 5 still remain. Jörg Roskopf, he'll be pleased with the start of Timo Boll, there's no question about that. There it is. Timo Boll takes the first game to the delight of this virtually capacity crowd in Rotterdam. 11 points to 5. And hopefully he can keep that going, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a very, very good way of returning the service, like sometimes attacking with the backhand, with a backhand flick, sometimes returning for the forehand, like even one time doing a short return there, which is very difficult for after this service of Chen Chi. But so far, playing a little bit more with higher concentration than Chen Chi, doing better service return, and playing very good also with backhand sometimes down the line.
Timo's wife follows him around. She can take the pressure. Showed her again in the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, she's not always there. Like especially for this match, not too far away from Düsseldorf, she came by, and she followed this World Championship. Of course, she's also crossing the finger,
like we all are. So the players now back out on the table, and 95% of people in the Ahoy Stadium in Rotterdam hoping that Timo Boll can repeat his form in that first game. He was quite superb, winning 11-5. He's serving at the start of the second game. Had a chance.
Had a chance there. But still, what is very good, he stays very, very close to the table, ready to get for the attack directly.
Great shot by Chen Chi.
That's the problem a little bit with Chen Chi is playing. Usually, you know, like his backhand is not that consistent, not that safe, but from time to time he fields the ball very good, and then he attacks you also very, very strong. He might miss, he might hit, you never know 100% what he's playing with backhand. With forehand, you know that.
He launched himself into that one, total body action. See that again. Transfers the weight around his legs, the upper body rotates, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Only just missed, but Liu Guliang, the former world and Olympic champion in men's singles, is very happy with the start of Chen Chi in the second game. There he is. Clenched fist, he's delighted.
Attacking Timo's backhand, this time service a bit high. Better start for Chen Chi right now. It's very important also on these high-class players, like for every player, like how you start inside the game, how you really have the first 2, 3, 4 balls.
Can't do much against those.
Nope.
Just now he let the spin bite into his bat.
And you see how much spin is inside Timo's service.
7-love.
Too fast, like it was very fast start for Timo, who worked out quite some things in favor of Timo. Now it's going the other way around. Main thing, if you are down quite a bit, like Timo is right now, to keep the track, not to lose concentration, try to find the rhythm, because it's very, very fast that a game is changing, even after 0-7 down in this way. Very good forehand, very strong forehand. Whenever he has enough time, because you see his movement is very, very long, very big, then it's so difficult. He's playing big angles, deep angles, and it's really like difficult to get out once he started his forehand topspin.
Good combination there, backhand topspin, steps round, forehand topspin. 2-8 down, Timo Boll. Chen now with 2 serves to come. See that one again. Error on the backhand, that final backhand from Boll, but it's a little bit of a chop block. Again, there's a lot of backspin on it.
Yeah. It was a bit late already there. Difficult to judge how much spin is inside there. Oh, nice one. And quite aggressive with backhand. Opens the side then, and he stays close to the table. This is main thing. Don't give Chen too much time. Perfect. Finding back rhythm a little bit, Timo. Coming back after this 0-7.
Good shot. Again, held his ground.
And you see, showing the fist, he's still there, he's still around.
That was a lovely touch shot there. That's the one that set up the winning forehand topspin.
Avoiding the forehand from Chen, playing this a little bit with a fake move to the backhand.
Just not quite making the flick. 10-4.
Short return of Chen. It's very, very aggressive. It's quite some extra spin, using also the spin of Timo's service. It's doing very good return.
He certainly got back into the game. Can't see him coming back from 10-5, but he can go into the third game knowing that he was firing on all cylinders at the end of the second game. Forehand down the line from Timo off the end of the table. And after winning the first game 11-5, Chen with the perfect response, he wins 11-5. So nothing between the players at this point in time. And there's Chen in the corner with Liu Guliang, world and Olympic champion, while Timo Boll's there with Jörg Broskov. In fact, I bet the two coaches have had a few good battles over the years against each other, but of course Liu Guliang was one of the best. So, what's Jörg saying here, Richard?
Well, I think main thing is now like to keep on changing the service a bit more. Chen was doing much better returns, and well, I think this is second of all, like to keep concentration there, like changing the service of the placement a little bit more. Maybe sometimes coming also with one service with quite some downspin. And if he's using so much the side spin upspin or side spin downspin for Timo to have short returns, maybe just do one easy service. Just like a straight service where Chen cannot produce so aggressive short or long returns. Because one more time, like Timo is the player with having more variation, which is usually more consistent. And well, we see he has to have a good start now in the third.
Great insights there from Richard Krause, and the players now are back at the table. It is Chen to serve at the start of the third game.
Come on, see if Timo can start again with some backhand flick there.
It's not easy to keep Chen out with that forehand topspin, but that's what he's going to try and do.
So powerful, so much extra spin. Thing is, if Timo has chance, he should try to avoid opening with spin in forehand side, because at this moment Chen hitting very good this counter topspin. Just it's not that easy because Chen forces him with his side spin return to play in forehand of Chen.
Shot block there from Chen. Boll did well, took his time, spun the ball back. There we see the chop block. And there we see Boll's forehand topspin. A lot of spin, the ball dipping in front of Chen. And the score is now 2-1 in favour of Chen. That was great touch play by Timo Boll there. 1 minute, these players are exploding with very powerful shots, and the next minute the delicate touch shots, and that really is the hallmark of a great player who can delicately touch the ball over the table and then hit it at 100 miles an hour.
Good one.
Great rally, top spin to top spin. Boll will take a lot of confidence out of that. He won the top spin to top spin rally.
And main thing is he started better. He started the service of Chen because the service was half long. So like let the ball jump from time to time. Maybe it's going half long and Timo can attack, not with the hard, but with the soft top spin also. Good one.
The serve drifted long. It wasn't that long. It was well spotted
but it
by
was a bit
Timo
high.
Boll.
Like this.
Fraction high. And that's well put away by Timo Boll. The look on Chen face tells it all. Timo, the crowd are shouting, and it's Timo who leads 4-2.
Good service there.
The reverse action serve. A lot of spin flying around. Looks quite straightforward when you're watching on TV, but there's an incredible amount of spin on the ball.
The same like Tang Jiko was using against Wang Lichin. Yeah.
Nearly went over, just caught the net cord.
Let's see if this time service again is going a little bit out or a little bit high, so Timo can attack directly with forehand.
Held his ground, went for the counter topspin, didn't quite come off. Hard to say, Richard, whether that was long or not, the serve. It was good serve. It was a good serve.
Good service and just always at the border, but like Timo has to have some variation in return as he did before.
4-5.
Chen trying to go down the line. Made the error. Lost off there. Applauding Boll. Boll leads 6-4.
Inside the rallies, back and usually Timo is better. Whenever like it's long enough with backhand topspins that Chen has no way to turning around, usually there he will win some easy points.
Strong topspin from Boll deep into the backhand of Chen. Chen can't control the speed and spin, blocked off the end of the table, 7-4.
A nice change of position of service. Before short service, downspin and backhand. Now a little bit same, this reverse service in forehand. Yeah, so he moved him very well when he has to do a return. Very good.
Chen trying to improvise with some sort of chop shot there, but it was Boll who was in with the topspin first. He now leads 8-4.
Yeah, he wants to play short. That's the best thing like he can do if Chen keeps the ball short. But if it's a little bit half long, and Timo can start directly, and then it's many things going in favor of Timo. Good one.
The serve drifted long. It was slightly high, and Boll was in like a flash. 9-4. Here we see the serve. It was too high. Oh, that's a good topspin from Chen. Boll got in with a strong topspin. Chen was able to topspin back.
Very good that Timo was waiting with the racket high above the table for attacking this ball, winning not this ball, but the last ball. So 9-5 and own service.
Oh, it's a great shot. Straight down the line. Boll was anticipating, guessing that that ball would come on the diagonal.
And you see the next ball, how much side spin is also inside, really getting very, very deep to forehand. Not only in forehand, but deep to forehand.
4 game points for Ball.
Unless Chen cannot return service of Timo short, and Timo can start a little bit faster, a little bit more slow, and Chen has really trouble in keeping the ball.
Please throw the ball up.
The umpire asking Chen to throw the ball upwards. Gives him a warning. Net serve. The return was high, but that was an error from Chen. And that's Timo Boll winning the second game, 11 points to 6, and leading by 2 games to 1. Did well there, Richard.
Did very well there. Main thing is, I think, that he was ready from the half-long service, or like a little bit higher service to attack directly there, not to standing to opening with backhand too much, but like to opening with forehand. And I think that was the main target. Very good in this way, and gives him a 2-1 lead. Now we'll see if Chen can come back, but Timo really is moving well, and especially the return game is playing. He's playing on a very, very high level.
So the 1-minute break in between games is almost over. The coaches will be passing the advice on. It'll be fascinating to listen to both corners. There we have the Chinese supporters in the crowd, Liu Guliang, Chen, and German flags all around this arena. The support for Timo Boll is first class. So the players now back at the table. It's Boll to serve at the start of the 4th game. Looking relaxed. But then again, he always does.
Yeah. But in this tournament, he really keeps calm all the time, and he also will be calm now. I'm quite sure about that. He's really focused.
Good start. Held his ground, the counter topspin, put Chen under more pressure time-wise. Chen had to rush a little bit with that forehand down the line.
And he knows, Timo, that if it's a strong counter topspin from Chen coming from this position, has to be in his forehand, and he was ready there.
What an angle from Chen.
And this is what I said before. Now a very good block down the line, and usually you were a little bit thinking as if you play against him, he might miss that, and then sometimes he's missing, and sometimes he's putting on the table. Like with the backhand, you never know with Chen what he will do.
Why not?
1 point each. Oh, what a shot. Backhand to backhand, Boll steps round. And what a forehand here.
But moved him before. One a little bit to the middle when Chen used the backhand there, you see. Next one in deep backhand, and then ready for the forehand. That was good.
Excellent stuff from Boll. Slightly fortunate there, Chen. I thought that had hit the net and flown off the end, that long, fast serve. But it didn't.
Okay, please play.
Boll leads 2-1. Chen with his second serve. And that was a clever backhand then. He didn't give it as much spin or speed.
Yeah, he was expecting a little bit more speed of this ball. Timo just touched the ball very gentle. And the ball was a little bit too short for following that strong for Chen forehand topspin.
Chen shakes his head. The ball caught the leading edge of the racket, flew off the end.
And he's really staying close to the table. He was ready there to block the first topspin of Chen, giving a little bit extra spin, not like we saw before from Mitsutani when he's just blocking straight. Timo has this rhythm right now. Very good. Keep on going.
gamble. Long, fast, reverse action serve, side spin, back spin. But Chen there was very quick.
Yeah, and a little bit high, this service. I mean, it's from time to time good to change, to open the game with a long service. Also, especially this service, Chen doesn't like too much. So I think it was a good idea, just like was a bit too high, and Chen attacked that ball.
Chen now 2 points down. It's 2-4. Chen serving.
2-4.
Changed a little bit the way of spinning the service, not like on the regular service, a little bit around the ball he was going. And then very wide angle. Changed the spin of service there. See, he will do another time.
Slightly fortunate, but it was a positive return of serve. He went for the topspin down the line. And when you hit the ball hard with topspin, there's every chance it'll climb over that net.
I think Timo realized it was quite some downspin inside, but underestimated the downspin. It finally helped him with a little bit of luck there.
Super shot from Chen. Good shot from Timo BOLL down the line.
Good down the line, you see. Nearly catch him. But very good there.
Excellent footwork. Came back, ran round, threw the ball up, heavy spin, not quite as much speed as normal. The ball's underneath the table.
Yeah, but this is one specialty of Timo, to have like this extra rotation. Main thing is he's mixing up, sometimes playing this fast topspin, sometimes playing a little bit slower topspin, so the opponent doesn't know what kind of timing he will get.
Let's serve, ball caught at the top of the net. Well spotted by the umpire.
So far, if he's choosing this alternative of serving, was all the time downspin. And again.
The Chen topspin catches the top of the net, flicks it off the end of the table. Didn't quite lift the spin sufficiently. Tried to keep it tight, did a good job, but not quite tight enough on the return of serve ball. Chen in.
And you see, you feel, this is the problem if you play against a player like Chen. Like, I personally really feel Timo is this extra bit superior to him, but it's still very, very close. You start to miss one service of your own, and then you have the pressure to have the return again, and he might catch up again very, very fast. Good one.
Yeah, an excellent short play, and then launches into that forehand topspin. Nice touch, and then in. Ball just pops up a little bit off Chen bat. That's a great shot by BOLL. Played a shot there, sat on the floor. Excellent play. There's the topspin, and he slips back. He sat on the floor.
And he tried, yeah.
And he still tries. Great stuff. 8-6. BOLL leads. Here he is. Literally sat on the floor.
Yeah. And he would have been fast back.
Good backhand down the line. Took Chen by surprise. 9-6 now. BOLL 2 points away from winning the fourth game. BOLL nearly managed to block that back. It was a fast forehand topspin, a ferocious forehand topspin.
But
from
still
Chen
good, and still good what Timo was doing. One time returning down the line, one time returning in deep backhand. Now he shouldn't forget to also from time to time return with forehand. Keep the variation, that's the main thing. That's the main target now. Now we see what service he's choosing.
Topspin versus topspin. Boll comes out on top. 3 game points. Good spin from Boll. Chen topspins off the end of the table. Boll wins the 4th game, 11 points to 7, and he now leads by 3 games to 1. Boll in a strong position, and Liu Guliang, Chen, the pressure's on.
Yeah, and I think really, let me see where we can listen a little bit to what Rossi tells him. Music is too loud. Just like I think main target is like he keeps on changing this rotation, what he's doing. You see a little bit more to the middle, not always fast, not always slow, keep variation there. And main thing is also keep on changing return. Now he was doing quite some time with backhand return, maybe opening the table a little bit more from time to time, waiting if the service is half long, going for the forehand return, and keep directly at the beginning, close to the table. Don't go away in this topspin rallies too much. So far, I mean, Timo's playing on very, very good level, very concentrated, and we don't see here the biggest rallies, but Timo's very concentrated and service, first ball, and these kind of things. Little points working in favor of Timo.
The game plan that Roscoff and Boll have put together is paying dividends, but it's Timo Boll who's executing them to perfection out there, playing quite superbly. He just needs to keep it going for another game. And certainly, like you, Richard, I do feel he's the better player out there at this point in time. But Chen is dangerous. He's got an awesome forehand topspin. And it's just a question for Timo just to keep it going. He's won the first point.
1-0.
But as long as Timo can do return on this level, I think he will always get some advantage there. And now again, also take this 1-0 lead, 1-1, 1 point of Chen. Not too bad on the service of Chen.
Again, it was slightly slower.
No, it's no problem. From time to time, you can give this chance to Chen because it's so much rotation and staying so low. And Chen is not used to having a little bit of block or a passive ball on that. He's always going for it and missing a lot.
But the key is to keep it low over the net, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly. Like that is the ball. It's not jumping high, but it's a little bit low. And to have this variation, 1 out of 4 play fast topspin, the other 3 a little bit slow because this topspin with a lot of spin, and this is the speciality of Timo.
Good start by Boll, 1-3.
And we are close to the timeout from Chen.
Anytime now, I'm sure you're at. Oh, look at that, how's that, Richard? Liu Guliang on his feet, timeout.
Now, main thing is not overpowering, keeping the concentration, keeping the focus, keep on changing a little bit more the return. And Timo is playing really on his best right now, really concentrated, not overpowering, like really having good placement for the ball. Very, very good so far. Rossi's doing, I think, when I really understand this way, right? Like really keep the concentration there, keep the fighting spirit, keep on changing little placement of the ball, and now he drinks himself.
Jörg Roscoff looks very calm also, which has got to be good for the player as well, to see the coach there composed and so the players now coming back out to the table. The 1 minute break is over. One 1-4. Chen now with the second serve in this sequence. Again, it was spinny, it wasn't fast.
And was half long, and Timo was ready for that. Really not much trouble for Timo in returning Chen Qi, and that's always the key point against Chen Qi. If you have no troubles in returning the service of Chen Qi, you are quite dominant against him.
Topspin to topspin, backhand. Ball comes out on top. Chen Qi now with his 2 serves, 2-6, 4-point lead for BOLL. A few net cords there, but it was a good spinny backhand from BOLL to win the point.
He's really on his way. If he keeps concentration right now, I think he really will be winning this game. Not over.
7-3.
Threw it up in the air. 7-3 now.
So I have to take back myself, just like he should really play 1 point after the other, because we mentioned that before. Chen Qi is like very a dangerous player and always keeps on also his fighting spirit there.
Excellent. In behind the serve, putting Chen Qi under pressure straight away. 8-3. First point with the serve, be great to win the second point.
Good one again, and it's, instead of doing a very fast flick down to the forehand, he opened that with a softer flick to the backhand and follows very good in the backhand there. See, attacking Chen Qi's weaker backhand and gives him no chance to come out there.
3-9, 2 points from a place in the semis. And that should be it now. 10-3 for Timo BOLL. 7 match points. And there it is.
Bravo, Timo.
Superb performance by Timo BOLL. Rossi's on his feet. BOLL wins by 4 games to 1, winning the 3rd, 4th and 5th, 11-6, 11-7, 11-3. He punches the air, waves to the crowd. The crowd are on their feet. They're absolutely delighted. And we have European interest now in the men's singles semi-final tomorrow. And that's wonderful for Germany. It's wonderful for Timo BOLL, but it's also wonderful for all the spectators here. So we look forward to seeing Timo BOLL in the moment. Last words to you, Richard.
I think main thing is what Timo was doing for the return game was on a very, very high level, and the main thing is he keeps the target now, because he's reached the semi-final, but he can reach more, and he's playing in a really good shape now, and I really hope for tomorrow we see another time Timo on its peak, and then I really hope for him and for this tournament, yeah, something more is possible.
Richard and I have thoroughly enjoyed the men's singles quarterfinals. We're delighted Timo BOLL has gone through. We're going to leave you now, and our colleagues will pick up commentary. We've got 2 finals to look forward to now. And we will leave you in the capable hands of Michael Anderson and John Burgess. They'll be joining you very shortly, and they'll pick up commentary when the players enter the arena for the first final.